It's Demonata_4 or Demonata What If with today's video. We're just going to continue from what we were doing yesterday. Bit of nice stuff. Let me just quickly set up Rumble chat, just to make sure that that's going. Ooh, almost had a bit of a rumble there. All right. Today might be a little bit short as with yesterday, just because I will quickly have to go do something else after this. But yeah, I've been working a lot to try and just like organize my shit. If we just give a quick peek, I don't think this is any like no secrets here. So hold on, I just made the scene one. You can see bit of the stream going. I've got like a couple of different Gundam things that I want to watch with you guys at some point. Some things that are on my mind there. If we just give me like 5 seconds, I want to get off of there. There we go. All right, that's confirmed. Do I have anything stupid open? It's gonna get me banned. I don't know. I don't know why I'm scared of getting banned, low-key. Like, who knows if I will? Surely I wouldn't, you know. But I've seen it go badly for a lot of people, so might as well put some thought into it. Okay, let's see if this place had any Mordred figures. As you know, I've been looking a lot into just buying stuff from Japan. So, you know what? There's no spoilers. Unless you can read Japanese, there's no spoilers here, as far as I'm aware, because I literally can't read half the shit. I say half the shit, basically all of them. The Turn A Gundam. That was pretty nice, done it. I can't see what price it is. I think pre-orders are over or reserves are over. Like it's out of stock. I can't read. Can't really tell. You can see I was looking into this Kill the Kill statue. I am a big fan of Kill the Kill. I know we got a lot of people who are new to anime. They don't like this sort of stuff. But this shit is what I grew up on, so like I don't give a flying fuck. Look how cool this pose is. I love Kill the Kill, man. It's a great show. But yeah. If we just quickly hold on, let's just translate it. Japanese to English real quick. A resale out of stock. Okay. That's good to know. Let's actually see how close is this one to being in stock. It might log me out, to be fair. It's quite funny, I'm using this for Magic the Gathering. Discontinued sales. That's unfortunate. I can't even tell how much it is. That's the biggest problem for me. Like, you can't see how much it is to buy this. And of course, we can always look around at other sites, other areas. It's lots of horny shit, let's be honest here, but like nothing's visible. Methinks. I think. Keep repeating that to myself. This is the new Castoria from Bandai. Part of me wants to get it, but I might avoid getting it until I can actually get Castoria in game. So I will like that real quick. Just have it there, you know. Oh, this one looks really nice. I don't know who it is. I don't know what it is, but it looks cool as fuck. Ain't my suit fine? Ain't it fine though? Give that a quick like as well. I've already opened up a box of this before, but I've seen that it goes for cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, so you know, might as well. What was this? Oh yeah, I saw something that said 30th anniversary. I didn't know what it was. Is this a card game for the 30th anniversary of Persona? It is. It is September reservation. Well, if you like Persona, feel free to go on AmiAmi. Just you will have to make an account with a specific designated address. You know, it would be cool if it would be really fucking cool if one day I could set up something so that people could like a PO box, but in any country. Because I have an address in Japan that I can send things to, but I'm not actually certain how it works. I'd have to look into it better. But that's what I use for this site, like an external thing. This one, suspicious. But yeah, you can see like this site has like the top rated things of certain brands and this and that. It's really neat. It is. I wanted to spend a bit less time than what I'm spending on this, but yeah. Gyaru pack. I love me some Gyarus. Sell products and reservation, this, that. Personally, out of these categories of card games, Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't mind. If you got some cool stuff on there, I'd be fine to get some of that. Magic the Gathering, obviously. I love Magic the Gathering. I'll be honest with you, I'm really enjoying it. Hold on, no, I've got a job for tomorrow, which is really great. I'm actually really glad I've gotten it. I'm painting down another area, getting driven out at 9 a.m. till what 3 p.m. Yeah, look at all the categories. There's trading card games, there's Gravia, there's music, games, goods, models, tokusatsu and figures and this, beautiful card figures, blah 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 blah. It's dope. But yeah, sorry, going back to the things, Magic the Gathering, I'd be down to Waste Spirits. Honestly, it's Waste Schwartz. But I like a lot of the stuff they have. Honestly, I'd be down to get any of it, but personally, for when I'm buying stuff for myself, I'm only going to be picking up stuff that I like a lot. Battle Spirits is pretty good. I think it's the same situation. Same with Lychee. Lychee's a bit hornier, so do be aware of that. Duel Masters. I don't know anything about Duel Masters, to be honest. Hold on. Cardfight Vanguard is also pretty dope. I've tinkered with it a little bit. We just give a quick scroll around. It doesn't look like there's any cards showing. Oh no, I know which one this is. Never mind. Yeah, no. Duel Masters is pretty cool. Vanguard is pretty neat. Future Card Buddy Fight is also pretty neat. I probably wouldn't buy all three of them though. I bought cards from Vanguard because I was just like, fuck it, why not? While I was already buying something, but I wouldn't like buy it specifically. Precious Memories, I've seen that they have a Fate series and it looks phenomenal if I remember correctly. If we just look real quick, do they have? That's Dan Matching. Don't know if this site has enough specifics on it. Some of my knowledge about stuff is also kind of tilted by the fact that I've researched so much about random shit. Yeah, you can kind of see what sort of cards they are. Quite nice, isn't that? That is actually really nice. Nothing against it. All right. I don't know what Wicross is actually. Or Zillions of Enemies. I've seen Zillions of Enemies before, but I haven't ever got it. This looks pretty nice, to be fair. I know it's a bit blurry. I don't know how good quality it is for you, but I can picture out enough of it to see what's going on with certain things. Yeah, so I don't really care about Zillions of Enemies because I don't know shit about it. Fire Emblem was never my thing, so I don't care about that either. Although I do have 2 Fire Emblem amiibos that I got a long time ago. Actually, I'll bring them down after this. Monster Collection TCG. I'm assuming that's just like monster-based stuff. Oh yeah, another thing I don't mind is like wafers. Those are pretty cool. Interesting. Hold on. That has a really nice art style. Reminds me of like PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games. Other card games and arcade. I like arcade games as well. Unfortunately, you know, they've got that limitation of once they're over, they're just over. Like the Fate Grand Order one. But honestly, I regret nothing about like doing those games. They were always fun. This looked really cool, so I'm waiting for it to load in. Yeah, looks fire, doesn't it? I like Super Saiyan 4. I think it's way cooler than some of the other stuff. But yeah, let me just quickly scroll through. I got a notification from them today, just telling me about a bunch of stuff that's like on sale, this, that. I feel like I recognize that. Yeah, so these should all be bonus something. I don't know what bonus means. That might mean it's on sale, but that might also mean that it's just like things that relate to stuff I like or I've looked at. I haven't ordered anything from this site yet. Unfortunately, it logs me out sometimes, so I can't actually check. Oh, I remember this one. This is from fucking... Yep. Whoa! Off my screen. Pervert. More stuff. I like the look of this Persona Morgana, to be honest. Lots of tits. Luckily, we don't have our resident gay guy, Manny, here, so he can't have any struggles. Lots of stuff. That was pretty nice. I can't lie. I don't really feel too bad for being like down bad or anything. Sometimes shit just makes you horny, you know. Some shit is just hot. Also, it upsets me somewhat how much cheaper some of this Japanese shit is compared to like the if I was trying to buy in the UK. Like if we scroll, oh fuck, it all changed. God damn it, hold on. Like this Barbados, 1,250 yen. That is £5. That is unironically £5 or £6. G-Fred, under £5. The metal G-Quarks is, you know, obviously a little bit more. And I'll be keeping an eye on this. This one, 880 yen. I know for a fucking fact this one is like 10 or 20. This is like 20, £15 in the UK. It's ridiculous. Pisses me off. I thought I saw it said Mordred somewhere. So let me just scroll down a little bit more. God, it's like an autistic paradise. Bunch of video games, Blu-ray, some DVDs. I wouldn't mind picking up like a Gurren Lagann songs DVD. That might be fire. Some card games. I'm just glad I have money now. Whoa, that is very horny. All right. Cool spawn. Barbados. This is like, you know, for our boy Thyssen. Chef, what's his name? He'd like this. I'll give it a quick like. Oh fuck, it's logged me out. Okay. I'll leave open a couple things that I'm gonna. Whoa, that's cool as shit. I want that so bad. I have a normal one and I have a small one, but this just, you can tell it looks nicer. It's very nice looking design. Can I see it? Will you allow me? God, that's fire. So cool. This one, I don't really know what it is, but I see it all the time. Scrolling some more. Iskandar. I'm going to open that one up inside. Oh, I've got one of these. Hold on. I'll show you in a second which one I have. Iron Man, Iron Spider. Some JoJo stuff. Yeah, Iskandar. My boy. I like this dude so much, man. He's one of my favorite Faye characters. Unironically. Oh yeah, for this one, I have this one here. The one with Chandelier on it. I wouldn't have mind getting... Honestly, I was between these three. Chandelier, Ninjask, or Gengar. I'm a big fan of Ninjask. I like having him in games. That's a very cool one. It's definitely Chinese. That was 100% Chinese. Absolute China. I have no idea what this is. I'm a little bit lost. Online. Persona! More Barbados. I might have a peek through this one if I... Ooh. I think it's shit. Let me just log in. You don't know how many hours I spent like setting up stuff so I could use stuff in Japan. Oh, this is saying that when they do it, they want me to show my ID and stuff like that. Okay, gotcha. I think. I don't know what this one is. Don't know what this is. Don't know what this is. Don't know what this is. This could be telling me, hey, you're losing your account, but I have no idea. This is where I set up my account. And finally, one last page, just to give a peek through. It's kind of crazy how, like, many models are made. I am curious about the plastic offshoot of Japan and China and other countries like that. It just makes me think more and more, like, because part of me is like, this is really fucking cool, but the other part of me is like, if they have so many of these, how many are going to the dump? Genuinely, like, how much of this is going to get, like, just dumped away at some point? Anyway, let's get into today's video. Let me put on some headphones real quick. I'm looking fresh, looking dapper. While that loads up, I'm going to quickly grab two things. Instead meat. Oh, my remote. Oh god. Sorry for the loud noise there. My remote control fell on the ground, and my head got very, very light just then because I haven't seen him in quite the while. My mic is broken. It's been broken for a while. This isn't anything new. Oh well. Problems when you ain't money made. As long as I keep making these videos, eventually I'll get some passive income from it, and I don't know, maybe I'll eventually get to a point where I can just buy stuff using money from the channel. That'd be great. But of course, if there were donations made, I will always be making sure it's limited in some way. Fuck, I took the wrong thing off. Like, my head was so out of it that I just... Anyway, so... Just a bit... Can't lie, I need to wash these, I can't lie. So first off, we have this. Oh, let's just... Because it's not like... It's taking ages to load, let me just start reloading it. I got this Chandelier fig. It's really nice in person, I swear. It's very cool. I like it. I have it next to my my Ichigo alternate version. And then for these figures I have had for years, they are so covered in dust, man. Hold on. Helped a little bit, I can't lie. I might just dunk it like a donut. Actually, let's just do that real quick. I'll be back in one moment. I will switch to scene. Coming. Alright, I have returned. Oh shit, I just noticed that the button for the speaker broke. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, just another moment then. Where is it? It's like the cap fell off. Alright, let me put that back on. Alright. God, these are so old, man. I've had them for so many years. It's crazy. So I have this fella as an amiibo. And I have this fella. They're pretty neat. But anyway, let me just put those back up. I have them at like the top of the shelf. I need to get a bit more organization with the amiibos because they're kind of just everywhere. I really liked amiibos when I was a kid. I liked all the Toys to Life stuff. Anyway, let me put my headphones on. I think we'll only have time for like 1, maybe 2 videos. Bluetooth connected. Let me make sure that my stuff is... Oh, wrong thing. I need to set up everything, sorry. Headphones, bada bing, bada boom. Scene. And let's start. Carved its way through the multiverse with its March of the Machine. It presented itself as one of the most devastating events in Magic the Gathering history. From worlds shattered, realities broken, and planeswalkers desparked, very little good can be said to have come from March of the Machine. Though Elish Norn was ultimately defeated, it feels as if the multiverse at large didn't necessarily win either. But there is... Yeah, because there's no winners in war. Although, to be fair, Elspeth as an individual probably won a little bit, considering she's met her god and become, you know, way stronger than she was before. Is one, I believe, who came out
up on top of March of the Machine. Someone you at first would never believe.
Alright. Well, I know the image has Nicol Bolas in it, so I'm assuming him.
And welcome back to the Interhub. I'm Simon, bringing you more Magic the Gathering lore. Today, I wanted to bring you the Vorthos community some theory crafting. I love making outlandish predictions and seeing if they hold water in the future.
Okay, I'm not doing that. I will watch this in my own spare time. I want lore, I don't want theory crafting. So I will leave it, like, but I'm not doing anything with it. Alright. Should I just do this guy's video? It's 18 minutes, in mind. I don't want to... Okay, let's move over to Wilds of Eldraine 3 now, apparently. Okay, so we just need to watch these 3 videos. And we've got 2 on Tarkin. Oh, 1 on Tarkin, sorry. Sorry. Alright. Let's start with Ashiok.
Read the letter from her twin brother Will. Rowan read the letter from her twin brother Will. He knew she was angry. He understood. He wished he could help. If Will actually understood and wanted to help, he would be here, in this Wheel Drum Tavern with her. Instead, Rowan sits alone, thinking about her response. She was right to be angry. Their world had been turned upside down, and Will wanted to sit at home and wait for answers to just appear. Why was he so afraid of her for not wanting to wait, for wanting to take action? Rowan folds the empty paper and hands it to the courier, and declares her
I'm completely fucking lost.
only message for Will was to come find her when he's serious.
Okay. I'm starting to feel like I don't like Rowan because she's reminding me of a lot of characters who just kind of piss me off. Actively going out of their ways to be pricks. But let's just check. For when this is. So just a lot of fucking videos, man. Alright, so we're here. But obviously that's missing 1, 2. Okay. Alright. Wait, what did I just... Okay. Let's just put this here. Delete this. Something Tesla it. I mean, I'm not bothering with these 13 Nights of Magic BS stories. Caverns of Ixalan. I don't really care about Ixalan. I don't know. If that's something that gets requested of me, I can check it out, but for now, I don't know enough. Gods of Ixalan. Whatever. What if? Bro, my job is to make the what ifs, not yours. Okay, I think that means that this is like the last arc we're going to interact with him, essentially. Okay. Is the new Luca? What? Okay. I might watch that as well. Alright, so we're at number 1 of Wilds of Eldraine, I guess. So let's go over to that.
There was a king who dwelt...
I have a feeling that Will, in my mind, is going to stay correct for most of this, but I'll expect to be... You know, I'm going to put myself in a mind of, I want to be disproven. I don't, but...
With a queen by his side and 4 children, those who lived within the kingdom were content, knowing they would remain in good hands for generations to come. But the king and queen were dead now, slain defending their family and castle. All of their virtue and all of their defenses meant...
Hold on, what mic am I using? Why is it?
Nothing to the Phyrexian invasion. Those who thought to live long lives in peace now lie in mass graves below the heaths and meadows. Hey I'm Simon, bringing you more Magic the Gathering lore. Today is the start of a new tale, a new chapter in the story of Magic the Gathering. The dust has settled on the Phyrexians' war against flesh, and the multiverse has healed through the great pruning. What we venture into now is a landscape mired by changes that will pruning. On the Phyrexians' war against flesh, and the multiverse has healed through the great pruning. What we venture into
Okay,
now
yeah, he's talking about the multiverse itself, not like everyone in the multiverse. Okay.
Mired by changes.
I was like, hold on, did he just say that the universe got used to it? Like, what did I miss?
Changes that will now be explored in the wilds of Eldraine. All the consequences from Magic's latest story arc comes into plain view as we embark on this, the Omen Path arc. And that all starts...
I am quite glad that they chose for Will and Rowan to be the focus of the first thing. I do hope that ends up being a set that focuses specifically on Nahiri.
With today's story, introducing Wilds of Eldraine Chapter 1, Pure of Heart, written by K. Arsenal Rivera. Remember, you can check out the complete Wilds of Eldraine playlist.
Isn't that the same person who wrote Strixhaven and Chaos? Whatever.
By clicking on the link provided and in the video's description. You'll like sharing it with friends. Eldraine and the white-aligned realm of Ardenvale needed a new king, and Will Kenrith took the title. The knights who fought in the invasion now called Will the Boy King, and his twin sister Rowan couldn't blame them. The twins had come to see one of those knights who had a scar.
Is he not like the best option between the king and queen options? Oh yeah, war-hungry, warmongering queen, or king whose main goal is magic and understanding the world, and would probably actually be able to sit through a meeting or two.
Face and dented armor telling of her valor. She held a hammer the size of the Boy King himself in one hand. The other arm had been lost in battle against the Phyrexians. Placed now with enchanted wood.
Sure. Okay.
For the past 6 months, this knight had been demanding tribute from nearby villages in exchange for driving off raiders. But the raiders in question always seemed to be wearing her colors. Will addresses this warrior, Sir Imodane, who sits on her makeshift throne, made from the bodies of dissembled Phyrexians. She insists Will calls her Queen Imodane, while Will dons the mask of diplomacy, agreeing to talk as equals. Queen Imodane laughs, echoed by her raiders, and refuses to take Will, this boy king, seriously. She sees...
Fucking kill her then. Does he not have magic? Like, am I just forgetting his whole kit is like... Whatever.
Young royal as pathetic. No one saw him on the battlefield when the Phyrexians came. Rowan, Will's sister, her anger boiling, knowing that they were fighting their own battles inside the castle. But Will remains calm and smiles. He challenges Queen Imodane to a duel. If Will won, then Queen Imodane would quit raiding and bend the knee, becoming a vassal and champion to the crown. Yet, if Imodane won, then Will's family...
And this is why Rowan is better... Sorry, this is why Will is better than Rowan. This man, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. This is why also I wouldn't be able to be a ruler, because my brain immediately went to just beat her up.
Court would follow her instead, handing over the crown and the right to rule all of Eldraine to her. Rowan offers to fight for him, unsure if this...
Why?
duel would be evenly matched, yet Will refuses.
I'm so glad that his sister is supportive of him and, is like, being helpful rather than immediately putting him down. What a lovely person.
Father or mother could have solved this problem, but Will, if he lost, he would lose more than just blood.
Yep.
She couldn't openly defy her brother and make him seem foolish. He was the new High King and needed to prove himself. They moved to a patch of packed dirt designated as a battleground. Queen Imodane's rebels sitting to watch. To Rowan, they seemed happier than the Knights of Ardenvale, whose faith and loyalty belonged to their old king, her father, and not necessarily to Will.
Okay.
A bugle sounded at the beginning of the duel, and Rowan thought that she were
I don't really like seeing this through Rowan's eyes, because Rowan has the same eyes as a 12-year-old who doesn't get her way all the time. And I want to see this in the... I would prefer this be written from the point of view of, a future king instead. Like, I would much rather Will have been the perspective that we've read this from, but... Oh well.
Childhood watching duels from her father's knee. She asked questions about everything she saw back then, determined to be a knight herself one day. Her father watched her tilt for the first time, his heart swelling with joy. But Phyrexia had taken that from her. Taken her father.
Well, I literally do not give a shit about her. I'll be honest. The way he's presenting her right now just makes me not want to care about her. It feels like I'm watching like one of those girl boss power characters, and it's just like I don't enjoy those. There's a reason I don't watch those sorts of movies or series, and it's just why is everything about her? Oh yeah, her brother's about to fight for the existence of their kingdom and, you know, to stop a bunch of raiders from being in control of it. So instead we're going to focus on her and her problems. Why? Where is the logic in this storytelling? If I stop the video, hold on, what's going on?
When she watches Will take his stance, her imagination projects their father's shadow over him, a barbed monstrosity over Queen Amodane. Amodane makes the first move, advancing with her giant hammer. Will blasts the ground with ice, and the momentum causes her to fall face first.
Type shit.
Her hope they had for an honorable duel was gone. Even her rebels couldn't help but laugh. Flame bursts from Ibodane's hammer, melting the ice on the field. She swings it overhead, and Will throws himself to the side like a complete and utter novice. Rowan's throat grows tight.
Side note, again, I'm pretty sure that whoever wrote this really wanted Rowan to be the one that captures your heart, because the way this is being written isn't a character who has, you know, been part of a war. It isn't like the son of a ruler who spent his entire life journeying with his sister and learning how to, you know, exist with things and, you know, just it's not a well-written character. It's being written as they're putting it, like this novice who just came out of the woodworks. It's kind of similar to how in Fate Grand Order they actively make sure that the main character Ritsuka, Fujimura Ritsuka, is like always the novice in every situation, even though he's fought gods and beaten Goetia, who could destroy all of reality without, you know, by going back in time and all that other stuff. It just... I'm gonna check who wrote this later on. I think I know who it was. And if it's the person I think it is, I do not think I'll be buying Strixhaven, the new Strixhaven book. New to me, not new literally.
Her hammer faster than Will can get up. All the anger Rowan felt while watching her father die, and all the sorrow she felt afterward coursed through her.
I literally don't know why she's fucking focused. I'm not.
What then leaves her fingertips a bolt of lightning would be like calling a cauldron a thimble. Dark clouds recede to let the lightning through, the crack bringing everyone to their knees. When the dust settles, Rowan realizes what she's done. She cut a massive rift at the side of the nearest peak. Generations from now will call it Stormcutter Mountain. Rowan stares from her hand to the massive rift in disbelief. Her brother and even Queen Amodane gape their mouths in terror. Rowan doesn't know what to say, so she stands tall and unsheathes her sword. Queen Amodane drops her hammer, turns tail, and runs into the woods. Will asks her what she's done, and Rowan only answers that he should have let her fight. He wasn't trained.
Yeah, I'm not watching this. Sorry, I don't like this. This is disgusting to me. I don't give a flying fuck about this story. It just pissed me off. I'm going to watch the final battle. I don't want to know any of the lore coming up to it. I got pissed off just then because what the fuck is this story? What is this fucking story? Genuinely. It's so poorly written. Why would you introduce it that way? Rowan doesn't seem like an appealing character. She just seems like a narcissistic child. I know, I'm one of them. She feels like a narcissistic child who wants everything to go her way, who wants to make sure that everything goes exactly the way she would do it, and there's no idea of diplomacy. It's just emotion, fighting, destruction. And then Will isn't being treated like a character of his own. I know I watched 5 minutes of it. I should be able to tell how good it is in 5 minutes. I hope it's just that this guy's just poor explaining it. Maybe I'll see if someone else has a Wilds of Eldraine summary video. No, hold on. Wilds of Eldraine summary video. Wilds of Eldraine main writer. I know it's going to tell me that there's like multiple people working on it. It's the same fucking part. I'm not reading that book then. Shit. Yeah, I'm not reading that at all. Why is she... I've never heard of a single one of her fucking books. I can't lie. Damn. Shit, she wrote like basically all of Strixhaven. So far gone, your hair at her. That is unfortunate. I wish my forehead was bigger to get more of your attention. You came in at the right time, because now I'm pissed off by this shit writer. Why is she in everything? Just a bad writer. I want someone to summarize the whole thing for me. I don't want to watch all this other bullshit. It's just bad. They want to write. So I'm just watching a video. I was watching a video on the Battle of Eldraine, and it's like it starts off from the perspective of this like little brat of a child. It's a grown woman. She's in like her 20s or something, but she's acting like a small little child, and I just don't really want to see that. I have enough like narcissism myself and bitchery to contend with on my own, to be reading a book specifically about some girl who just, she's so sad because, actually, I think this is the same reason I didn't like Katara, to be honest, in Avatar: The Last Airbender. This little girl who can't handle her parents having died, but of course we're not going to focus on the fact that her brother also just lost his parents. Her brother also experienced a war. And he's being treated as a novice for some reason. She's getting as many buffs as possible because she has to be the strong one. And it's just like, I don't want to read. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to listen to it. I'm going to watch the last bit of it. I've watched 5 minutes of the start. Hated it every second of it. So let's watch just the ending of it. Hopefully my pissed offiveness can bring you some joy.
Their new ponies, gifts for their most recent heroic deeds.
Yeah.
Learning the truth about his Lord Talion's part in casting the wicked slumber, Kellen didn't feel much like a hero. He looks over to Ruby, who's cloaked in her namesake color, its length concealing a blade of eternal ice. With the last of the crown's power, Hilda granted Ruby's wish to have a sword as big as she was. An eerie quiet rolls across the plain, for no foe had hindered their path to the castle. The front doors were torn from their hinges. The corrupted heart of the curse had rotted and consumed the wood. The dreamers lived beyond the doors were the nightmares that plagued Kellen on their journey. This was not a place of comfort and rest, nor a place for glory. It is a place where wounds fester.
I have literally no idea what's going on. Like, not a single clue, but alright.
Story with Chapter 5, our finale. In our previous chapter, which you can find linked on your screen now or in the playlist found in the video's description, we continue the journey of our budding hero Kellen as he seeks to end the wicked slumber by defeating the 3 witches responsible for it. However, he learns a dark truth that his kindly lord Talion also crafted his hideous spell, and that he was only using Kellen to clean up his own mess. Feeling used and less like a hero, Kellen pushes onwards to Castle Ardenvale to face the final witch.
No idea who any of these people are. Not a single clue what's going on. You'd think Eldraine would focus on the ex-planeswalkers of the plane, but
only for the good of Eldraine.
I'm only upset because I wanted to enjoy it. Like, I'm only upset because I liked the idea of Will and Rowan being stuck on this plane. I liked how they were perceived in Strixhaven. But I know for a fact, based on this person's writing, that's just bad. It is a shame that most media is clickbait now, or an invitation to be justified hate watcher. Yeah, I agree. But, come to my place and you can be a hate watcher whenever.
With learning more about his...
I think with this one, it's less so that it's specifically designed to be... I think it's not actually designed to be clickbait or to justify you to hate it. I think it's just really poorly written. I think the lady who wrote this, I forget her name already. It's K something. She's got a stupid last name. K Arsenal Riveria. I think she's just a really bad writer. I don't know why she's got so many pieces. It feels like the same writing you see in modern day Marvel. I don't want to watch it.
True Fae father from this trickster lord. At Castle Ardenvale, Rowan Kenrith has teamed up with Ashiok and the Witch to bring peace to Eldraine through strength. The
nice.
Slumber and the sleepers will...
Of course, she's doing it through strength because her whole shtick is she forces everything to go her way, because if it doesn't, she has a massive tantrum and starts throwing thunder and fire everywhere because she's a bitch.
What will be the ultimate...
I hate being proven right sometimes. Like, I like it. I like that feeling of, oh, you were right. Dope. But I also hate it because sometimes I think of things that are quite negative and then they get proven right and it's like, oh, now I just feel like shit because the bad thing actually happened.
Of Eldraine. Now we continue with Wilds of Eldraine Chapter 5, Broken Oaths, written by Kate Arsenal Rivera. Remember, if you're enjoying the content here, to please support us by leaving this video a like, sharing it with friends.
This might be the only time I don't leave a like because I simply do not like this story. Unfortunately.
Becoming a subscriber. It all goes a long way.
Okay, holy fucking yeah.
That they would just be hurting the sleep. Something in his blood.
Hold on a second. No, this fucker. Ah, fuck me. Was I meant to start off with this video? Oh, no, maybe not. Sorry, I thought that was the same guy. Apparently it's not.
Ruby protested that they would just be hurting the sleeping guards if they fought their way through them. So they tie their horses to a post, leaving them with bags of feed, and stand at the base of the castle wall. Kellen produces the remaining...
Oh yeah, by the way, I ordered the Gurren Lagann and Rasengan figurines, or Gunpla, so that should be arriving in about 2 to 3 weeks, so I'll be having some more Gundam streams. Gonna have a couple, like, card sleeves, like a plastic thing of Mashu. I know you're not into Gundam, but just thought I'd put that out there since you are here.
Vacation posted that their beanstalk guide Troyan had given them, but this time it's Ruby's turn to be a frog. Kellen climbs onto her back,
Wonderful.
And they both jump up and over the castle walls. Kellen looks around as Ruby...
I do think there's a big chance I probably would have enjoyed this if they hadn't started off focusing on Rowan, who to me is she's a... What is the female equivalent of a man-child? Hold on. Foid? That's what they're called on Twitter. Is it just woman-child? No, she's not a manic pixie dream child because she's not eccentric or bubbly. Peter Pan? Maybe a Tinkerbell? That might be it. She's either a woman child or a Tinkerbell. I don't know. Maybe, Manny, can you think up a word for me? Can you make up a word for this one specific thing that just randomly came to my mind? I appreciate it.
Change back into her human form. There are no sleepers standing guard here. They aren't sure where to find the Witcherite, so they open the first door they see. They peer into a yawning hallway, lined with faded and defaced portraits. The only light comes from the violet mists hanging just above the stone floor. Together, the two heroes follow the winding cords of mists through the halls of Castle Ardenvale. They pass rooms that are empty.
Oh, by the way, can you just tell me if the audio is somehow going through my microphone as well? Because I'm hoping it's not echoing too much for you. Because my audio thing is telling me that a lot of noise is going through, but I just don't know where from. Maybe I just need to turn it down on the mic itself. I don't know. A massive shipment of instruments to calcify the helplessness cultured by my... What the fuck are you on about? I can't quite find that on Amazon, but I know it can't make me. I'm glad you do enjoy Gundam. Instruments. Okay.
Empty and ransacked.
Don't really know what that means, but
the only sounds are the echoing squeaks of mice. It's no wonder they hear
that might be in the only thing I need to change.
Footsteps scraping against the stone before they ever see who's coming. Kellen and Ruby press themselves on either side of the door, and Ruby peeks around the corner. She looks stunned and gestures for Kellen to do the same. Standing before a lectern, surrounded by swirls of violet clouds, is Rowan Kenrith. Kellen couldn't believe their luck. She must have figured out how to end this curse as well. He dashes into the room with Ruby close behind, calling out to Rowan. Instead of a warm welcome, Rowan demands to know who they are and why they're here. Kellen explains that they came to defeat the witch, just like she did, they supposed. He wondered why she was frowning. Maybe the curse was keeping her in this place. Rowan Kenrith neither laughs nor smiles. She lays her hands on either edge of the lectern as sparks crackle along her fingers. Her voice was cool and level as she told them to leave. The late...
Okay. I'll leave it as is then, if that's good for you.
High King's daughter probably could handle this herself, but Kellen promised that he would help end the curse. Rowan tells them that it's best if they're not here. Something in her voice is disconcerting, and Kellen takes a closer look at the book before her. In jagged handwriting, he could read, Attempt 23, haven't been able to put anyone to sleep yet except for the old-fashioned way. He has no time to process what he's read, for Rowan is wreathed in crackling sparks. Suddenly, Kellen's vision goes white. As Kellen wakes, he hears the faint noise of Ruby's voice, sounding alarmed. A shower of cold water pours over him, and his eyes...
God, she's so dumb.
It's clear to see her holding an empty bucket. He moves to wipe the water from his face, and realizes he had been bound with rope. But that rope had already been cut. Kellen sees Ruby holding her frosty sword and wonders how she got it back. Sir Rowan had knocked them both out and was trying some weird dream magic on them, but she was interrupted with the arrival of a cavalry. Ruby woke to find them guarded by two sleepers, who now lay motionless on the floor. Kellen can't believe Rowan
Fuck Rowan.
Them, but Ruby heard her say that she was trying to help them. A very peculiar stance to take, given she just shocked them with lightning.
we know she's fucking stupid. Obviously, she thinks she's helping people, but she's not actually helping them, and it's just making things worse. She's one of those stereotypical characters because she is a, I don't know. Manny still, you still haven't come up with an idea for me for a different term for like a woman child.
In her heart of hearts, Rowan knew this dream couldn't last. Just as no amount of training prepared her to save her family from New Phyrexia, no amount of wishful thinking could extend this respite into lasting peace. Her time studying the magic that would save Eldraine had always been fated to end, but she hoped she'd have longer than just a few weeks. Her brother Will, who styled himself as High King of Eldraine, sent knights who were now bursting through her front gates. Aerith was seated upon her throne, violet strands flying from her wrists to the sleeping warrior's limbs. While Rowan struggled to weave a dream for just the two children she captured, Aerith was able to control an entire army. Ashiok had left the realm to attend to business elsewhere.
I don't know who these people are. Aerith and Ashiok. Is it this girl? Ariat? Oh, that's a really good card. Just on a side note. Yeah, it's very nice. It's in Strixhaven's Silver Quill, I believe. Underwhelming? Really? Whatever. And then also said Ashiok. I feel like I recognize the name, but my brain just can't. Ashiok. This guy. Okay, so one of his other videos said that this is like the next main villain of the set. We don't have that anymore because it's not blocks, but sure, man.
All Aerith had to help her. A woman in her brother's vanguard orders them to stand down as Aerith positions two ranks of sleepers at the foot of her throne. The vanguard's arm is wooden, wielding a hammer and fire magic. Rowan recognizes this is Imodane. Of course, someone as careless as Imodane is shooting fire at innocent sleepers. Rowan focuses on the sparks in her blood.
You act like you're not like the whole reason why any of this is happening. I haven't watched the whole thing, but I know what happened. I can tell. I can connect the dots.
Them build until she unleashes a bolt aimed for the knight's feet. Stone shatters as Rowan declares there's no High King of Eldraine anymore. Imodane looks shocked to see her as Rowan steps up onto the dial.
I just can't like her. I'm really struggling to give a shit about this story because I've been already thrust in my face a character I know I'm gonna hate, and she's one of the main characters of the story. Like, I wouldn't have liked the Demonata book series if she was one of the main characters. That wouldn't want to be one of my favorite book series. If she was like, if there was a constant character in like Bleach that acted like this, I'd fucking hate Bleach. I don't like this archetype of characters. They're so...
To protect this witch, Aerith. As she rises, Rowan spots her brother and comes to realize that all this will end today, one way or another.
Damn, he got that shit on for real.
Behind the vanguard, he sits atop his white horse, sword drawn. Rhyme coats his armor, and despite riding into battle, he hasn't the sense to don a helmet. Seeing her brother was like seeing all of the parts of herself that she didn't like, externalized into someone else.
What? It's ironic because all the parts of her that she doesn't have, all the things that she would dislike about herself, I really enjoy. I think they're great. I think they're better than her for everything she wants to do, which is quite ironic, isn't it? Doesn't help he looks way cooler than her. Anyway,
he calls out
let's
to
keep
Rowan,
going.
his voice full of ache and disbelief. There's a lump in her throat when her brother looks at her like this, with fear.
There is no fucking way that this guy with his shit on like this, is looking at her with like this like sadness and upset, like and pity and fear. Like this guy has that shit on. He's just, what's the word? He's centered. I don't know. He seems very in tune with like some sort of mental strength. I'm trying to look for the word. There's definitely a word to describe what I'm feeling.
To be something other than what she is.
Which you're doing the exact same thing to him though. You're literally doing the same thing to him. You're looking at him and being like, "Wow, you really represent everything I hate about myself." Crazy.
Back, saying that she's learning how to save the realm. He thinks this isn't like her.
She's a flawed character for sure. Do I come up with another description? As in, like, do you come up with another word for woman child? Because that's what I want you to figure out. Because that feels like what it summarizes her behavior.
Working with witches to curse the realm?
As in, like, never grow up sort of character. But I just feel like woman child just kind of, it doesn't roll off the tongue well enough.
He thinks this isn't like her.
Mm-hmm.
Working with witches to curse the realm? When will he realize that the Rowan he knew is dead? Will begs her to come home.
Christ, okay.
Is this what he thinks the High King should be? A man on the verge of tears atop a warhorse? At best.
It's better than being a corrupted tyrant who is actively trying to destroy her own fucking whatever. Go on.
It was contradictory, but it certainly wasn't strength. Rowan wants so badly for her brother to understand that she's never going to be all right again. But
she's like, she just doesn't understand what strength means. Strength is the ability to fight your enemies, but it's also the ability to, understand. It's also the ability to take on that information and grow with it. You're not strong if you just throw fireballs and lightning bolts at everything to get your way. You're strong if you can find other methods that get less things harmed, because that's strength, that's control. There's a reason why stoicism is seen as such a positive thing for strong characters.
She knows he never will. Then her sword is beating back shields and...
Yeah, he never will, because he's not going to revert to a child, unless he gets cursed or some bullshit.
Lances, parrying and dodging. When she reaches her brother, she levels her sword and dares him to dismount. His cool eyes study her. Then he steps from his warhorse, drawing no weapon. Will tells her that their siblings, Hazel and Eric, need them. They still have a home. Their parents were dead, the realm shattered, and her brother was acting like talking about it would help.
God, my fucking god! My fucking god, she's so stupid! Oh my god, she's so demented. Holy shit! Imagine this being your sibling. They are physically incapable of understanding that, yeah, there are problems right now, but we need to work as a group to think through them and actually target them correctly rather than just throw everything we have at them and lose all of our, just like our sense of reality. Because the only goal is to make sure we survive. It's not just... As a great character once said, the goal of people should not just be to survive, it should also be to live. So yes, sometimes you do have to sit back and just chat. Sometimes you do have to, meet up with your siblings who are still alive and do need your protection because they are, from what I can tell, younger than you. That's your sibling, yeah. Maybe it's just a woman thing. Maybe. I don't know. I love women, so I don't want to hate on them.
Never was one for action. Rowan
6'2" feminist, by the way.
moves to slash him across the chest. A move he must deflect. But Rowan is stronger. She's always been stronger.
Okay.
Under a relentless barrage of blows, Will steps backward. His knights part to let the twins battle. If it was because they feared her or because her brother ordered them not to touch her, Rowan didn't know. Will shoots a bolt of ice at her feet. Finally,
he's just a good person. And it's very clear to me that he's just a good person who doesn't deserve... who she doesn't deserve. She doesn't deserve him in her life. At all.
stopping her in place.
To be fair, it's quite ironic that she has the same haircut as basically, the main, most annoying Marvel characters.
The battle rages around them. Knights against dreamers, friends against friends.
Mhm.
Her brother fights back tears, admitting he's sorry he didn't help her when she needed it. Rowan cannot look at her brother this way for long, so she checks her.
He just pities her, which is quite unfortunate for her, but then it's also completely deserved because I would also pity someone who simply isn't capable of thinking for past like turn 3, so to speak.
Arit over her shoulder. Her heart sinks as she sees the children have gotten free and are attacking the witch. The boy, Kellen, slashes with golden whips.
My boy Kellen. That is my boy. I didn't know who you were until 5 minutes ago, but that is my boy Kellen.
And the girl is swinging a sword twice her size.
Hell yes, Ruby. Get her ass.
Arit may be powerful at spellcraft, but she was no fighter, unable to deal with the children and control the sleepers at the same time. Will can't believe she wants to save this witch, that she's happy to fight against him to do so. Rowan explains that this is their aunt, that magic had always been in their blood. They could use it to keep Eldraine safe. No one has to suffer anymore. No one has to die. Will tells...
Sorry, I'm a little bit confused on this. I did skip through the story, but why is magic even a thing that would be considered negative? Rowan, you fucking twit. Both of you use magic consistently in the story. You went to a school of magic. That's not the problem. The reason why she's called a witch is because a witch has negative connotations, and as they say, she's a bitch. I think I'm largely done engaging with label empowered people, which is basically everyone. Give my sister a good compromise. As for the other guy, I did the same, but I fear I'll always be an incel. I'm sorry, man. I do feel like the word incel is thrown around a little bit too much on so much, so I'm not going to be investing in that relationship again. I'm lonely. I'm not that lonely. Fair play. Fair play. I objectively can't be an incel based on the definition, but saying that makes me sound like an incel. I can't lie.
Rowan that he doesn't know her anymore. His words unleash another wave of anger. Rowan blasts the vanguard.
Yeah, because the only thing she can respond to is anger. Like, the only thing she's capable of responding to things with is anger. She isn't capable of restraining her own emotions to try and understand what's going on, because to her, anger is power, and all she cares about is power.
Again, over and over. She lets loose her frustration.
Imagine if, like, Emi if his whole thing was about anger. He wouldn't have won a Holy Grail War. He wouldn't have survived past the first few minutes. He would have gone killed, to be fair, by his servant. But, yeah. Damn. Imagine all these characters if they were just all obsessed with anger constantly and they never grew. Well, they wouldn't be those characters. You know, they wouldn't be the books and the stories I'd like to read. They'd be a waste of fucking space.
And hurt at her faithless former friends. She would show them all.
Faithless. Fuck you. Faithless? Are you
her power. All of them knew she was hurting, but left her to rot.
Like, you didn't do the exact same thing to your brother. What a fucking hypocrite. I get it. I'm a complete hypocrite sometimes, but, like, at the same time, what a fucking hypocrite. You base your entire ideal on hypocrisy, you know?
Breath as the dust of her rage settles, expecting to see everyone lay low. Instead, she sees a cocoon of ice, pitted, cracked, and scarred. Will dismisses it with a wave of his hand, still trying to convince her that her solution won't work. Rowan charges her brother.
They really are too good for her. They really are. I really hope that this story ends with her realizing something, because otherwise I just have to dog on the... I'm not going to like the author. I'm probably not going to get the Strixhaven book as much as I want to. Like, I do want to get the book, because it does... I've heard good things. Some really bad things, but some good things. A bit of an ick when proverbially annoying characters don't even bother to stray from the archetypes, even more when they affirm a negative gender stereotype. Maybe. That might be it. Maybe I'm feeling the ick. I don't know. I don't quite know if that's the emotion, based on how people describe how an ick feels. I don't know if that's quite accurate. I like archetypes. I think archetypes can work. But that behavior needs to come from somewhere. It needs to feel worth it. And at no point in the story have I felt like it's worth it. At all. When you don't have a support network that you can't feel at all, I do understand going down a route that she's gone down, for example. But she does have a really understanding support network who are all trying to consistently reach out to her. It's very clear. As for being negative gender stereotype, I'm not sure if it's gender based. I think it's just a negative, like, human stereotype, I guess. I don't know. I feel like you can have both, both sexes can have that sort of behavior. Maybe though.
Lying on her sword where her magic failed her.
Although, to be fair, I have been referring it to as the, like, Marvel Mary Sue stereotype. But I think I feel the same way towards I do feel the same way toward Gary Sue's. Like, when I'm reading a fanfic and there's a character who's poorly written and, constantly just gets things, I put down the book. I can't read that shit. Same with manga. Like, if I'm reading the 40th reincarnation story where a dude just is like, he's just got power and he does nothing with it and it fixes all his problems instantaneously and he has no issues, I just don't care about the story.
Flashes, a familiar hardwood catches her blade, and Imodane shoves her back. Rowan feels iced against the nape of her neck, and smoke begins to fill up her lungs. Veils of black coalesce into Ashiok's elegant form, now standing amidst the battle. Rowan smirks, knowing that it's second nature for Ashiok to control the Dreamers. Now they attack with a new grace, swaying away from incoming blows, dealing their own with vicious precision. Imodane sends a devastating blow that Rowan doesn't bother.
I don't really want to judge people on their appearances, but if I saw this person, I'd assume they were evil. Just off rope.
To dodge. There's something she understands that the others don't know.
What?
They can't win against Ashiok. Rowan just had to hold out long enough for Arit to put them all to sleep. Rowan drives the pommel of her sword into...
God, archetypes are great when they serve the plot machine. Either they stay consistent because they add narrative tension, or they could exist to evolve. Yeah, her archetype is one that should exist to evolve. If it's one that stays consistent, it makes you start to feel bitter watching her. It starts to make you feel pity, anger, disbelief. But if it evolves, it's like you're witnessing someone go from... It is the growth of a child to an adult, essentially. That sort of idea.
Imodane's face and sends sparks through her armor. Imodane howls, trying to tear the heated plate from her body, while a dozen more knights surround Rowan.
Isn't it crazy how the woman who's like was specifically going against Will and calling him, the baby king or whatever, is the one who now protects him and is now actually helping him against his sister, who got angry at her for attacking her brother. Kind of crazy when you think about it. Ironically, she's gone through the growth that I would have expected from Rowan.
1. She likes those odds. 4 of Will's guards collapse around him, all from blows dealt by Rowan, as they now join the ranks of the sleepers. In the distance, Rowan spots a flash of gold among...
he kind of reminds me visually of... sorry for the barking downstairs. He kind of reminds me visually of that one League of Legends character. I forget his name, or her name, or whatever. She's ugly as hell, though. It's because of the male face.
It's the boy from earlier, swinging some enchanted chain.
The goat.
Weaving between the combating knights. She turns back to Will. The boy was merely one child against Ashiok.
So I was just trying to listen out to see if anyone was at all.
Rowan criticizes her brother's diplomacy. If he'd talked to the Phyrexians, does he think their parent would be any more alive?
Different things have different solutions. The Phyrexians specifically were the idea of control, the idea of taking away from things. So you're never going to have a moment where you can really resonate with them. You have to kill. There are some moments you have to kill. But when you're a ruler, you have to consider diplomacy. You have to consider the other opportunities. Now, if you can tell that you can't, that's when you give up. But, whatever. She's a fictional character. I feel like I'm arguing into the void.
Sparred. For years, they knew each other's tricks. Will can conjure ice shields to deflect her every move. As he ices the ground at Rowan's feet, she tells him if he would look around, he would see his army has fallen asleep. Will, like the follower he is, does as he's told. Rowan watches as he looks around him, as he conjures a final icy bolt that she easily avoids. He smiles. It's the oldest trick in the book, but, as typical, she's fallen for it. Rowan looks behind her to see Ashiok, now with an ice bolt through their chest. Rowan realizes...
God, that's just beautiful. That's just beautiful. If this author could be a genius author, I was hating on her at the start, but she could genuinely be a genius author who builds up this character to piss you off, to eventually have that satisfying, she is still a child, she is still demented, even though she treated everyone else as novices. I just don't like her being the main character. I don't like observing the world through her eyes. Roughly spent trying to refining a more concise articulation of what the person before me is thinking. If I vote for myself, let's go more. Yes, I know. You are light. You are Kira.
The boy wasn't trying to defeat
You're more like
Ashiok,
Kira, to be fair.
but merely hold them in
Or to be
place
first
for
person,
Will
first.
to land a strike. Ashiok lets out a howl of pain as ice spreads through their body.
You are the conversational cock chair. Got you.
Smoke swallows them, and in an instant, they're gone. Rowan realizes Ashiok still had their spark. They were still a planeswalker. She was too stunned to react to the girl in the red cloak, now pressing her sword to Arit's throat. Arit looks calm and collected as her eyes meet Rowan's over the ruins of the throne room. A single thread of the curse, hardly noticeable, links them. The witch tells Rowan to leave. When the time is right, they would meet again. Arit assures her that they wouldn't kill her. They were too soft. So, they would bide their time.
It would be so funny if she just fucking dies in the next scene.
And Rowan is once again alone in the recesses of her mind. If she didn't heed Arit's advice, surely her brother would imprison her. There would be an endless parade of tender-hearted fools coming to heal her, to speak with her, to try and understand her. Meanwhile, Eldraine will still be splintered. If she pretended to be alright, Will would still be High King, and Rowan would always be the woman he graciously forgave. The rebel. No, there was no going back now. Rowan Kenrith.
Please don't make me take back what I literally just said about this story, how this story might be interesting. Please don't tell me, take that back from me. I just praised you as an author. Please don't go down this route.
Takes a breath, letting power crackle through her. It's difficult to control when there's this much of it, but as the energy leaves her, she aims it down at the ground. There's a boom, louder than the fall of a giant.
Crack-a-boom.
In the air. From up here, she can see the threads of the curse coming together, centered around the castle. When Rowan stayed with Royce the Weaver, she had warned that rest would come when it was least expected. Eldraine needed to rest, after so many dreams were shattered in the Phyrexian invasion. As does Rowan. One day, she would bring the blessed slumber to the rest of the realm. But for now, Rowan drifts to sleep.
Oh my goodness, is she just, like, the Madara, like, going down a Madara route? Damn. Female Madara. But not nearly as skilled. Equally retarded. Equally demented.
He's never met children braver than they are, and that they're invited to come to the palace whenever they like. He seems distracted to Kellen, but if it was his sister who'd just done all that, Kellen would be a little distant too. As Ruby makes plans for her to visit the castle with her brother, Kellen slips away. Ruby deserved all the rewards she could get, facing down a witch with a sword of ice, saying well in a story. But now it was time for Kellen to face a truth he didn't think was promised.
Oh?
In a sleepy farm outside the even sleepier village of Oranshire, there's no talk of heroes. Kellen has never been so grateful for the distant sound of sheep's bleating as he walks down the path to his family's farm.
Bleeding,
bleating. The Cotter boys, they glare at him just as they always did, but leave him be. He still fears them, even though he knows he shouldn't, for at least he knows he's strong enough now. Hex is the first of the family to greet him. The dog bounds across the rows of turnips, streaming drool behind him.
He's a bit effeminate, from what I can tell, but, you know, he clearly is, he seems like a good character nonetheless. So I'm impressed.
Lets out a sigh of relief as Hex licks his face. No matter where he's been or what he's discovered about himself, at least Hex still knows who he is. It isn't long before Hex's barking announces...
I can just tell that I already know how the Strixhaven story is going to be, so I don't think I'll be able to read that book, which is quite sad. Maybe once if I find a book that like summarizes the Strixhaven's Secrets of Strixhaven story, I'll probably go through that, but I'm not paying for anything in regards to it.
Kellen's presence to both his mother and stepfather. Kellen's parents run to him, and he stands in an embrace.
No dad.
He's finally home.
Type shit.
When he walks into the house, his mother presents him a coat she's made for him.
Is that his mother?
Threads ranging from deepest azures to the brightest of yellows. Embroidered through are elks frolicking around the elms, and the forests that surround Oranshire. Primroses bloom along the cuffs. Below a pocket, a girl sits before a pond of water, staring at her reflection. The lining shows the same girl following a man whose skin is streaked with blue. How long had she been spinning this for? How could she have possibly finished this in the time he was away?
I heard a lot of words, did not hear any of them at the same time. But I think I heard something about one of the frost giants. I forget their names from Norse mythology. And other than that, did not pick up anything.
It was beautiful, so much so that he couldn't possibly wear it outside or get it dirty. As he embraces his mother, she smooths his hair and explains that she enchanted it. Kellen and his mother sit down at the table, and she wants to explain about her past. She supposed Kellen asked the Fey Lord about his birth father, but in truth, he hadn't. All he did was to ask Talion to send him home, so he could hear about his father from her. Tears well in his mother's eyes, and when she's ready, she begins to tell the story. Kellen's mother met his father during her training as a witch. She was out gathering nightshade when
Why
she
is
found
there
a man
like
lying among the dangerous
why does he look like a League of Legends, like just one of the OCs they make for their sports videos?
blossoms? He invited her to sit with him and offered as much nightshade as she wanted in exchange for a conversation. Knowing he was a Fae, she made him promise it was only a conversation. He told her his name was Oko and newly arrived on Eldraine. He wanted to know more of the plane.
He's a planeswalker.
And from a pretty girl, it was all the better. Kellen knew the blue
Oh
streaked
my
man
days.
embroidered on his cloak
Smooth.
is his father. This Oko, laying among the nightshade blossoms.
Oh, so the blue is just his
mother
arms.
sighs, thinking it was the first time anyone had ever called her pretty. The realms outside of Eldraine were thrilling to her, so they exchanged stories. They talked among the flowers for hours, eventually realizing they would need to meet again. She couldn't remember the name of the realm that he came from, but Oko said the Fae reigned supreme there. He found the idea that humans should challenge.
Whoa, is he in like the bloody the Fey Lost Belt? Oh.
The Fae of Eldraine very amusing, and lamented that he couldn't confront Lord Talion directly. Of course, back then they were young, and all young men talked that way. Over the next few years, they would meet in the Nightshade Glen, and he would come in many forms, and showed her many things. Without his aid,
Many forms? Oh, I mean, I guess he's a Fey, so it should be some shape-shifting ability in
never
that.
escaped her mistress, a terrible witch who was very cruel. For a while, the two of them went wherever they liked and did whatever they pleased. He taught her more magic than her mistress witch ever could, and even promised her a throne to make her a
X-Men 97 released 3 episodes of its second season today. I have not gone around to watching X-Men 97. I'll probably do it sometime soonish, probably, and have some time. For the fact that I was going to build the Gundam on stream, that would probably be a great time to just, you know, watch some X-Men, play some, build some stuff. I don't know. Maybe at some point.
queen. Then the trouble started. Though she had been freed from her witchcraft, the townsfolk thought once a witch, always a witch. They didn't want anything to do with her, which in turn upset Oko.
Witch?
Staying on Eldraine was wearing on him, and eventually he hurt people who had been unkind to her. She wanted badly to go away with him, but she couldn't. Thus was their personal curse. No matter how much they loved each other, they couldn't continue as they were. She wasn't meant to be a queen. After all that struggle, she just wanted peace. But he wanted to raze everything to the ground every time someone offended her. She admitted, even after he left, that Oko called on her again just 3 years ago while she was spinning in the night. The girl within her wanted to go to him, but the woman she became couldn't. Kellen listened, too intent to interrupt, looking over his coat. Kellen cannot sleep. Stories of his father swirling in his head. He wonders how many times he may have seen him already. His mother said he liked to take many shapes. Maybe they've already met. But if so, why hadn't he introduced himself?
Probably because it
Kellen
doesn't
wasn't brave
know,
enough to ask
but
his mother, though the question kept him from rest. He decides to take a walk and pulls on his new coat, stepping out into the darkness of the wilds. They used to frighten him, but not anymore. The woods would never betray him, so long as his blood smells of pine. Hex follows him, and Kellen can
nice little poetic sort of descriptor there. I feel like I'm finding with a lot of these characters that they're very easily able to be put into archetypes and into character like piles. Like I feel like a lot of the dudes in this you can just put into the effeminate male archetype. A lot of like the women in this are his mum is the what's it called, the like minority-esque archetype of, you know, that's their plot line, is essentially they're a minority and another minority kind of help them up, or they have like some sort of quote-unquote savior. Rowan is that, you know, woman child. and then Aldemiri, what's her name? I forget her name. The one with the hammer is that sort of like brash, strong woman who kind of calms down after being around the effeminate male. And then the witches give off the vibe of I know everything and you don't know any of it, sort of.
Of nothing to say to his old friend. His head was full of questions, and one shouldn't ask.
And of course, the dad is the classic the anime main character's dad storyline of peace. I'm out of here.
Questions of an old bloodhound. After a few minutes, Hex bolts off, catching a scent, and Kellen chases after him. Over the bows, past a prickly copse of yew, he finally catches up to Hex. The hound assumes a pointing position.
And he meets his dad right after learning about him. Hell yeah.
Embarks, aiming straight for a portal? A swirling series of interlocking triangles stands beneath the swaying branches. This looks
pretty cool to me.
Nothing like the portals to Lord Talion's realm, and on the other side, it looks nothing like Eldraine. Kellen remembers that Troyan told him about other realms. His mother, too. Was this his father's way of reaching out? What if this is a test? What if his
jumps in, fucking dies, because it's like a devil-filled plane.
Forward. He isn't leaving home. He'll just be right back. He pets old Hex.
Unless, of course, it closes the moment he leaves.
And steps through the portal. Arit hears a cool and familiar voice commanding her to wake. She wonders why it's been so long since she's heard this voice.
Oh.
When she opens her eyes, there's smoke billowing through the jail cell, despite the utter lack of wind. Ashiok stares at her, the smoke emitting from the...
Actually, that's another thing that I think that might be missing from this story, is they're so focused on this one plot point of the idea that this guy is like, you know, really like, he needs to make sure that everyone has their word and their say, that they do forget that he did just come out of the Phyrexian War. That he doesn't, you know, he's just experienced something where people did in fact have to die. So he should have the decision-making skills to realize, oh, these witches are actively going out of their way to constantly fuck everything up and to cause a curse. Maybe kill at least one of them. You don't need all of them. Just kill at least one. But also, didn't she get like an ice shard through her earlier, or did I just not understand something?
Translucent shrouds. Chains rattle as Arit stands, but the guards are not alerted. No doubt they're dreaming of something far more pleasant than guarding her. Ashiok tells her that plans need to be made. Arit asks where Rowan is, but Ashiok says that she's not ready for what's to come. Opportunity calls them in a new direction, one far from here.
All I'm going to say is, in this story, there's a very clear reason why witches on Eldraine aren't liked. There's a very clear reason why these guys are persecuted. They might deserve it.
One far from Eldraine. Ashiok promises that she will learn much, and will be allowed to return to educate Rowan if she wishes. But
educate
she would have the servants to attend her queendom while she was away. That information certainly soothes the matter. Rowan will be fine on her own for at least a while. Ashiok's hands hover over...
You killed my father. No, I am your father. What? Oh wait, no, I'm pregnant and you're the father. What? No, you're pregnant and I'm the baby. What? I like that scene.
Shackles, explaining just how far from here they were going to take her. Arit answers, telling Ashiok that that was a good thing. Ashiok didn't laugh. They never laughed. As the shackles fall to the stone floor, so too does darkness. In the morning, when the guards searched the cell, Arit was gone. And there you guys have it. Chapter 5 of Wilds of Eldraine, the finale to...
Okay, I'm gonna just... Sorry for the spam.
Learn that Kellen's father is actually the planeswalker Oko, the Fey planeswalker who played the villain of the original Eldraine set. We learned that a lot of what he did was out of protecting Kellen's mother, which actually goes back and adds a lot of context to what I thought was just general mischief slash... And we really
That's pretty boring. I don't like it when stories go back in time and just like try and change things because they want it to have a reason. I like characters who don't have a reason for what they do, or don't have a quote-unquote backstory. I think backstory is probably what I'm referring to better than a reason. Because you've got characters like Eisen, no backstory, but that guy's cool as fuck. Of course, some backstories do help for stuff, like, you know, Dio. But at the same time, you could go into Dio as a character and experience him in Season 3 or Part 3 or whatever. Not Season 3, Part 3. And, you know, experience him as a near enough the same character as if you didn't read or watch Part 1. But yeah, I mean, like, oh, let's listen to the last bit because he might give me some information that I just don't know about in lore wise.
To get into the reasoning behind Rowan's decision to side with a witch. But of course, the good guys do win, and Rowan
Good.
essentially becomes another Luca who just cannot live with owning up to her bad decision. It goes,
Okay, I'm glad he doesn't actually think Rowan is on the right here. I'm genuinely glad about that.
full scorched earth. Only time will tell if she's able to recover from this emotionally, which I hope she can. For now,
No.
High King Will Kenrith will rule with a much more cooler head.
You can look at the writer of this story and you know that she's not coming back from this.
And finally, as this starts the Omen Path arc, we get a little sneak peek at what nasty plots are being
Also,
made.
damn, she's flat as hell. Goddamn. Unfortunate for her. Honestly, kind of looks like a dude. I can't lie. I cannot tell now. Now that I'm looking more and more in depth.
Background. Ashiok doesn't do much in this set's story because they're actually orchestrating something much bigger. They're now teaming up with Arit, insinuating that they'll be taking an Omen Path together. Maybe Ashiok can now control Omen Paths and gather allies from different worlds. Whatever it is that they're planning, and...
Alright, that's enough of that. I don't give a shit anymore. So this is another video of him saying this. If this is a what if thing, I might ignore it. What does it mean? But what is Ashiok? Introduce history, future, conclusion. Got you. So like almost all this video, it's gonna be BS. Kind of don't want to watch the what if ones. Perhaps just a need to overcompensate through the lens of building a near perfect narrative. But yeah, backstories are clutches for characters whose motives don't echo in the present or future. Yeah, pretty much. Clutches is probably the best way to describe it. Definitely need to watch this at some point. Yeah, I think the next time I go through like Magic the Gathering videos, I'm probably gonna just go through Nahiri's fate. I'll probably try and see whatever's going on here for their complete story, because there might be some extra details that aren't present yet. Then we're doing Dragonstorm. I'll probably focus fully... Oh, no. Hold on. There's a poor ordering here. Let's fix that. Alright, we've got these guys. So maybe we go over Jace, Ajani, and this Archmage story. And then we look at Dragonstorm. That might be the way to go. Here are some other videos for the complete story, but this is Ether Hub, so I want to avoid it because it's the same guy. Sometimes the storytelling doesn't go through well enough for me. It's a translation. Nope. I'm not watching Mozart and ×2. Some more Max Exodus stuff and alright. Do check out Aether Hub. Because while sometimes I don't like his storytelling side of stuff, I do think that he has a lot of info and a lot of videos that do cover Magic story for something that maybe if I've missed it or whatever, just to like either give me some ideas or just to check out things on your own. I've got like another guy in my... You can look into my description for a couple other names. I'm kind of on a roll with Magic the Gathering at the moment, so I do feel like I should keep going with it. But tomorrow I will be not coming back super early. I'll probably be streaming at like 4-ish because I've got work till 3 p.m. So there's going to be a bit of a delay there. Anything else that comes to mind real quick? People would be sprayed with magical gathering fluids. What the fuck? But will I get a 12-year-old Stanford lectures for the socially recluse? You see, I would have thought the exact opposite. I would have assumed that it would be the whole thing with the Stanford lectures. But yeah, that should be it. Yeah, a bit of a late stream tomorrow because it's 4 p.m. For anyone new, do know I stream every day at 3 p.m. Other than tomorrow, of course, because of what I'm saying. That's what I'm going to be doing. Part of me is I'm between just continue with Magic the Gathering, or playing some game. I'm probably going to play Mortal Shell 1, simply because I will be tired as shit. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to take in the information quite as well. That or a bit of drawing. So we'll see. We'll see. I'll probably just quickly set things up tomorrow. But yeah. yeah, so we've got the Gundam kits, Gurren Lagann and the Zen Gun that are coming in a couple of weeks. So that will be one of my streams or a couple streams in a row, more than likely. You could have a drawing stream and just chat. Could start paper, go from there. I'm not going on paper. I'm not drawing on paper. I don't have the right camera for that, unfortunately. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna also continue looking into whether I can figure out how to stream PlayStation as well, because I wouldn't mind playing some Shadows of Mordor or something like that on a stream one time. A lot of my PlayStation games, though, I have played, so unfortunately, quite a few of them will be like, not me starting from scratch or anything. You're seeing an already made character in an already interactive world, so you might be left off with random stuff. But yeah, nothing else comes to mind. I think short stream today. I need to go to town for something sometime soon. So yeah, have a great rest of your day. Great. Oh, sorry, one more thing. Let's switch over to camera. I've got a pack of this Cataclysm Arcade Early Bird Booster. I've already opened 3 packs of it because I bought all 4 that you could. Gonna leave one sealed just for the future. But yeah, anyway, now that's it. Do check out Cataclysm Arcade. I might show off some of those cards in a future stream if they are asked for that. I'm just confused about the lactic acid thing. Anyway, I'm going to pop off now. Have a great evening, morning, night, really whatever it is for you. And ta-ta. I will dip now. All right. Now I dip.